I'd like to introduce what's called the VA Form 21-526EZ. This is the standard basic claim form that the VA uses to allow a veteran to file his claim. It's about a 5-page form. You have to take it one step at a time. Obviously, the obvious is necessary in all these forms. You have to provide your first name, middle initial, and last name. Again, the veteran's Social Security number. They ask if you ever filed a claim with the VA previously, yes or no. If you did, obviously you should have gotten a VA file number. Now, don't get concerned if you don't have the VA file number. Just leave it blank. But obviously, the more information you provide the VA, the easier it is to adjudicate the claim. Your date of birth, your veteran service number, which may possibly be the same as your Social Security number, or prior to, I believe, 1975, it may be different. Obviously, whether you're male or female. Include your telephone numbers, including area code. If you are experiencing a change of address, Section 2 covers that. Now, at the top of each page, you need to record your Social Security number. There's blocks up there. You want to make sure that you do that. That's very important. Again, at the top of each page of all claims, you have to record, or should record, your Social Security number. Anyway, page 9 is the most important, it's one of the most important claims, because that's where you list your disabilities, whether they be physical or psychological, whether it's tied to exposure, an event, injury, or whatever. And again, I'm going to be repetitive here. You need to tie any psychological or physical problems back to your military service. And basically, typically, when I fill the form out, I may, unless the veteran knows his specific date or month and day of his injury or psychological problem, I use his discharge date. It's just a guideline that I've used, as active discharge date. But you have to explain, again, the current disability. Is it due to exposure, event, or injury? Was it Agent Orange exposure? Was it noise exposure? Was it radiation exposure? I'm just trying to use those as examples. Basically, it's in service. It could be service in Vietnam, service in Iraq, et cetera, et cetera. And the approximate date the disabilities began, like I said, I typically use the discharge date, the active discharge date of the veteran. You move on to page 10. By the way, the form begins on page 8, and I believe it goes through page 12. Okay, just to kind of give you, when you bring it up in the VA system. This brings up another point. On page 10, at the top, you're supposed to supply, doctor's information that can support your claim. Now, obviously, if it's VA, all those records are held within the VA system. If it's outside the VA system, we'll be discussing later on another form that you need to complete to release information to those doctors. But basically, Section 5 kind of goes over your military service or summarizes it, includes your active duty time, what branch of service, your most recent active duty service date, where you were separated, and all that information is available on your DD-214. And then they move on as to whether you served after 2001, have you ever been a prisoner of war. I mean, it's really, you just have to take it one section at a time. I think it's relatively simple. On page 11 of the document, the first two sections at the top deal with retirement. If you're retirement, you need to report what your gross monthly earnings are from your retirement. If you're not, it's all the answers are obviously no. Now, what's also important about this particular page is every veteran, or I should say, similar to Social Security, the VA compensates its veterans through direct deposit. So basically, assuming that you have a checking or savings account, you will need to supply your account number, the routing number, and the name of the financial institution or bank. All right? So that's important. No, you do not have to send a void check. All you do is need to provide the correct numbers. And I do urge you to double check those numbers to make sure they're accurate, because when monies are awarded, again, they will be in a direct deposit similar to what Social Security is. And then finally, the last page is page 12. Again, as a reminder, you put the Social Security number at the top. The veteran signs at 33A, and then the date signed of the claim. Now, under normal circumstances, that's all that's needed. You know, if there are extenuating circumstances, you can get into witnesses and powers of attorney, et cetera, which are explained in the form. But for the veteran, all he does is have to sign 33A and date it. He does not need a witness signature or a power of attorney or anything like that. So, thank you very much. Have a good day.